Hello there. I just wanted to take some time, a few minutes of your time if I could, to talk a little bit about myself, who I am, and what I do here at UVM, and hopefully how we could possibly collaborate in the future if you decide to come, which I hope you do. So who am I? My name is Justin Garwood. I'm a professor in the College of Ed here in the Department of Education. I'm actually in the special education program. So I formerly was a middle high school English teacher and then a special educator, and then I went back to get my PhD to become a professor and train future teachers working with kids with special needs and to do research in this area. My particular area of research is working with youth with what we call emotional and behavioral disorders, which is a fascinating disability I think that people need to know about. And really, most people, I would say in the general public, have never heard of EBD, emotional behavioral disorder. These are the students that we would describe as having mental health struggles. The two current projects I'm working on now to address these students. The first is I've just completed a national survey. So I have about 1,100 responses from students in every state in the country, all over the U.S., all 50 states, answering questions about their mental health. And my goal there was to kind of get a snapshot of how are our current high school youth feeling about their mental wellness. My other project that just got funded by the U.S. Department of Education it's a 4-year project beginning in fall 2020, is a project looking at teachers working with youth with mental health disorders and looking at levels of burnout in these educators. So looking at what are the things that make their jobs difficult and what are the things that help them persevere and stay in their role as special educator. So I think these are obviously connected issues that I really am excited to kind of dig my teeth into and get going on more research and hopefully bring in students like yourself who could work with me in this research and bring a unique perspective. In the courses I teach at the undergraduate level, I teach, my favorite course that I teach is a course on behavior management. And this is essentially a course that anybody wanting to get a teaching license here at UVM, they have the option to be a special education minor. And if you minor in special ed, you can take my behavior management course. And even if you don't, you may have a way to get into it if I have enough room. But essentially, I'm teaching you about how do you, as an educator, whether you're teaching preschool or high school or anything in between, how do you manage kids' behavior, which is always a big concern for people. And so that course tends to be a pretty popular one among our undergraduates. At the graduate level, I teach a course focused on literacy instruction, which I really like. I teach a course on Introduction to Special Education. And I also recently created a course. This course I created was on issues of school violence, and we talk a little bit about school shootings as well, which is a very touchy subject, I know, but we do address it because it's in the media. People have a lot of opinions, so it's an important course that I created 2 years ago, and it's had pretty good enrollment, and I think that it will continue to grow. In all the courses that I teach, I adopt what I call a relationship-based approach to teaching, and I try to impart that relationship-based pedagogy to my students. Basically what that means is I try to teach it to you by doing it. I want you to learn how do you build relationships with your students when you're the teacher. So I, therefore, build relationships with my students that are at the college level so they can see how I do it and they can adopt that model and go into the classroom, because I believe that any intervention we have, whether it's academic, behavior, social skills, any approach when you're trying to help kids in school, anything you do will work better if you have a good quality relationship with your students. So that's my approach and the approach that I hope to teach you. And if you make UVM your choice, which I certainly hope you do, I look forward to working with you. Take care.